It makes me sick that people would make jokes about something so horrible. I used to burst into tears after almost every shift. Well, one night after a code, when we lost a kid, I collapsed in behind the nurse's station and screamed out, "Why does everyone always die on my shift?" I don't know why I asked that. Everyone knows most babies die in the afternoon. It's a fact. Well, even the other nurses were afraid to work that shift with me. Well, not just the LVNs like myself, but even the RNs, those so-called registered nurses who thought they knew so much more on account of they had more schooling. Even they would say to me, "Oh, Genene, I am so scared to work that shift because if you ain't around, then what will I do?" Most of them didn't even know how to find a vein for an IV. Everyone knows you use a foot or the head. People would come to me from other wards to find the vein in their own patient. Someone once told me that I could stick an IV into a fucking fly. And I could, too. And then there's the codes. When a baby crashes, stops breathing, and I would call a code, the doctors would act as if their golf game had been interrupted. So, I took charge. And I always knew when a baby was going to get sick, too. I could feel it. Sometimes up to 24 hours before it happened. Well, I would walk by the nurse's station, and I would point to a baby, and I would say, "You'd better get ready to call the parents, because that one isn't going to make it." I wanted them to have time to say goodbye. Well, that's why I got so close to so many parents. They learned to trust me because the doctors never had time to talk to them, and I was always there cheering them up or preparing them for the worst. I became like part of their family. Well, that's why so many of them came to my trial in the beginning to show their support. But then they stopped. You see, it's like there's two parts to me. There's the gentle part and the efficient part. Now, I am efficient when I am needed the most, like during a code. When a code is called, it's like the world stops, and I am on top of it. There is not time to think. I push that button and I call that code and I start shouting the orders even to the doctors. I tell them to intubate. I get the drugs ready, the heparin, the atropine, the dilantin. Sometimes I even push the drugs myself because there is no time. No time! No time! The baby's cubicle becomes this giant insect of hands and breath and noise. I'm the head of that insect. I'm the queen bee. I'm the one doing the thinking because I have to do the thinking. And it gets so damn hot in there between all that life and death. But you turn people out. It is an incredible experience. Oh, shit. It's almost frightening. And then, when the kid dies, things start to move around me again, and I pick up that baby and I hold it close. Sometimes, I would hold it up to the sky as a sacrifice to Jesus. I would bathe the children, and I would sing to them songs that I'd make up right then and there, songs inspired by their little lives. If that sounds insane, tough shit. If you can't die with dignity, why live with dignity? I would talk to them even after death. We don't know when the spirit leaves the body. We are not God. I would wrap it in a blanket, and I would hold it and rock it until the parents came to see it one last time. And then I would take it to the morgue. We aren't supposed to do that, but I always feel it was my duty to carry through. And I knew it was only a matter of time until people started thinking I was a death nurse, because I always took the babies downstairs, but there was something so final about this act. And so I did it. A final tribute to my babies. Then I would take the chart and I would make one last entry. And I would write to the baby and I would tell them that I would have given my life for theirs. And then I'd write goodbye. Well, you have to say goodbye when things are finished like that. I can still smell their skin. I can still feel the release of their spirits pushing through the roof of the hospital. I feel that calm that comes after so much commotion. I did my best with those little ones. Now, if I failed anyone, it was myself for trying so hard to do what was right, for forcing myself to try and save over and over again those tiny lives. So many angels. I wonder if I'll ever get to see more.